Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we've got an exciting topic that might just make you look at your pocket change a little differently. We're diving into the world of rare coins and focusing on the 1964D Lincoln penny that recently sold for a whopping $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, 1 cent could be worth a small fortune. Cut to a close-up of the 1964D Lincoln penny. So, what makes the 1964D Lincoln penny so valuable? How can a coin that was minted over 60 years ago end up fetching such a crazy price? Stick around as we unravel the mystery behind this incredible find and how you might have one of these rare treasures sitting in your collection. Cut to a montage of Lincoln pennies through the years, showing the wheat design, Lincoln Memorial, and the modern shield design. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since its debut in 1909. Originally, it featured the wheat design on the reverse side, paying homage to the nation's agricultural roots. The coin has undergone many design changes over the years, but the one constant has been President Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse side. But, as most coin collectors know, some years of the Lincoln penny stand out more than others, either due to errors, low mintage numbers, or simply rare circumstances that make a particular coin incredibly valuable. Cut to close-up of the 1964D Lincoln penny. And one such coin is the 1964D Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may seem like just another typical penny, but if you look closely, it could be hiding a rare mistake that makes it worth millions. Cut to the host holding a 1964D Lincoln penny. Now, the 1964D Lincoln penny was minted as the Denver Mint in 1964, and most of them are just like the hundreds of billions of pennies that were made throughout the years. The coin features Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front, and on the back, you'll find the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a design that would stay in place until 2008. The reason this penny is so noteworthy is because, in 1964, there was an error that occurred during the minting process, and it created one of the most valuable Lincoln pennies in existence. This is a case of a mistake that turned out to be a fortune for a lucky collector. So, what was the error? Let's dive into that. Cut to close-up visuals of the 1964D Lincoln penny showing the double die error on the date and lettering. The rare 1964D penny that is worth millions of dollars is the result of a double die error, a mistake that occurs when the coin die strikes the planchet at the metal disc multiple times. In this case, the minting process caused the numbers in the date and letters on the coin to be struck twice, resulting in a doubling effect. This doubling error is especially visible on the 1964 date and in the word day liberty. If you look closely at a 1964D penny with this error, you'll notice that the numbers in 1964 appear blurry, or they may be duplicated. The word day liberty will also show a similar doubling effect. Cut to close-up of the date and day liberty on a 1964D penny with a double die error. Take a close look at the 4 in 1964, and you'll see a noticeable shadow or duplication, which is the telltale sign of a double die error. This is a pretty rare mistake, and it's one of the reasons why those coins are worth so much. Cut to visuals of a coin auction with an expert examining a coin. So, how did a 1964D penny become worth a staggering $1.6 million? It all comes down to rarity and condition. These double die errors are rare. Fewer than 10 of these coins are known to exist in private collections. Despite the huge number of 1964D pennies minted, only a very small fraction of them carry this double die error. These errors weren't widely recognized until much later, and by the time collectors realized how rare they were, most of them had already been spent or destroyed. As a result, they became highly sought after in the coin market. One of these rare 1964D double die pennies, in near-perfect condition, was sold at auction for $1.6 million. This particular coin was graded as MS67, which is an exceptional grade for a coin of this age. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is. Cut to the host using a magnifying glass to inspect the 1964D penny. Now, let's talk about how you can spot a 1964D double die penny in your own collection. The first thing you'll want to do is examine the date and the word "day liberty" closely. Look for signs of doubling in the numbers of the date and the letters of the word "day liberty." Cut to a close-up of the double die error on the 1964D penny. You'll notice a slight doubling effect where the numbers and letters appear blurry or duplicated. This is the key indicator that you've found one of these rare coins, but there's more to look for. Next, you'll want to check the condition of the coin. A penny with this error in poor condition might not fetch much, but a well-preserved coin can be worth a lot more. If your coin has sharp details, no visible wear, and a good strike, it will have a higher chance of being valuable. Cut to visuals of a digital scale weighing the 1964D penny. Also, you can weigh your coin. A regular 1964D penny weighs about 2.5 grams, but it's the doubling that truly makes this penny worth checking out. Don't worry about the weight so much unless the coin looks unusual or you suspect something's off. Cut to visuals of a professional coin grading service with an expert evaluating a coin. Once you've identified a potential 1964D double die penny, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Professional grading is essential to determining the value of your coin. A reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC will evaluate the coin's condition and assign it a grade. Coin grades range from 1, poor condition, to 70, perfect condition. A coin graded as MS67 or higher A, like the $1.6 million coin A, is in exceptional condition. Coins with higher grades are generally worth more, so make sure to get it graded by professionals to know its true value. If you want to sell your rare 1964D penny, your best bet is to go through a trusted auction house or dealer who specializes in rare coins. Auctions can drive up the price because multiple collectors compete for these rare treasures. Cut to visuals of different 1964 Lincoln pennies, including regular, proof, and error coins. While the double die 1964D penny is the star of today's video, there are other 1964 pennies that are worth mentioning. Some collectors also look for different mint errors, such as die cracks, off-center strikes, and other variations. These can add some value, though they don't reach the astronomical prices of the double die coins. Even though they aren't as rare, these other types of 1964 penny errors can still be valuable, especially in good condition. But the true jackpot lies in the double die error. Cut back to the host standing in front of the table of coins. So there you have it, the incredible story behind the 1964D Lincoln penny and how it became worth a staggering $1.6 million. It's proof that even the most common coins can become highly valuable treasures when an error occurs during the minting process. Next time you're going through your change, take a moment to inspect those pennies carefully and you might just have $1 million find sitting in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay updated on all our latest coin hunting adventures. And if you've ever found a rare coin, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories. Music fades out as the screen fades to black with the channel logo. And, welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector or someone who's into hidden treasures, you're going to love today's video. We're talking about the 2004 Lincoln penny, a coin that might just be sitting in your collection, waiting to make you a millionaire. That's right. One lucky 2004 penny recently sold for an unbelievable $1.2 million at auction. Cut to a close-up shot of the 2004 Lincoln penny under a spotlight. Colin, so, what makes this coin so valuable? How does a penny from the early 2000s become worth millions? Stick with us to uncover the fascinating story behind this incredible find, and learn how you might just have one of these treasures hidden in your own collection. Cut to a quick montage showing Lincoln pennies through the years, the wheat design, the Lincoln Memorial, and the modern shield design. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American currency for over a century. Since it was first introduced in 1909, the design has gone through several changes. Originally, the reverse side featured two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. Over time, this was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, and then, in 2010, the modern Union Shield design we see today. But it's not always the design changes that capture the attention of collectors. Sometimes, it's the errors of those unintentional mistakes made during the minting process that lead to coins becoming worth millions. Cut to close-up of the 2004 Lincoln penny on the table. And today, we're focusing on a very special year, 2004. But before we talk about what makes the 2004 penny so rare, let's take a quick look at what was happening in the world of coins at the time. Cut to a close-up of a standard 2004 Lincoln penny with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. In 2004, the U.S. Mint was continuing with the familiar Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse side of the penny, which had been in place since 1959. The design features the iconic Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and this was one of the last years the penny would feature this design before the transition to the Union Shield design in 2010. At first glance, the 2004 Lincoln penny doesn't seem particularly special. It's a modern coin, and there were billions of them minted that year. So, how did a penny from 2004 end up being worth $1.2 million? The answer lies in a rare minting error that occurred during production. Cut to a close-up of the 2004 Lincoln penny showing the double die error. The 2004 Lincoln penny that sold for a staggering $1.2 million at auction is a special example of a double die error. But what exactly is a double die error? A double die is a type of minting error that occurs when the coin die strikes the planka to the metal disc used to create the coin more than once, but the second strike is slightly misaligned. This causes the image or text on the coin to appear doubled, giving it a blurry or shadowy effect. Cut to close-up visuals of the D mint mark and other doubled text on a 2004 penny. In the case of the 2004 penny, the error was particularly noticeable on the D mint mark and the date of the coin. On a regular 2004 penny, the D mint mark, which indicates that the coin was minted in Denver, should be perfectly crisp and clear. However, on the double die version, the AD is doubled, creating a ghostly effect on the mint mark. Additionally, the year 2004 on the coin shows slight doubling, especially on the 4. This kind of error is rare, and while it's not completely unheard of, it's incredibly valuable when found in high-quality condition. Cut to footage of a coin auction with an expert examining a coin and a bidding screen showing a high price. So how did one of these error pennies end up selling for $1.2 million? Well, in 2019, a 2004 Lincoln penny with a double die error was sold at a major coin auction. The coin had been professionally graded by a coin grading service, and it was rated MS67, meaning it was in exceptional condition for a coin of its age. The higher the grade of a coin, the more valuable it is. MS67 is a near-perfect grade for a modern coin, and this particular penny was in pristine condition with sharp details, no signs of wear, and a clear, visible double die error. Thanks to its rarity, high-quality condition, and the demand among collectors for coins with minting errors, the 2004 double die penny attracted intense interest from bidders. In the end, it sold for an astonishing $1.2 million, proving just how much a single error can add to the value of a coin. Cut to the host using a magnifying glass to inspect the 2004 Lincoln penny closely. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have a valuable 2004 Lincoln penny with this double die error? Well, here are some things to look out for. Cut to close-up of the double die error on the AD mint mark and date. First, take a close look at the AD mint mark. It should appear doubled or shadowed. If you see a noticeable ghost image next to the mint mark, that's a key indicator of the error. Next, check the look at the numbers in 2004, especially the 4. If it appears blurry or duplicated, You could be holding a valuable coin. Cut to the host holding a magnifying glass and inspecting a penny. You will also want to check the overall condition of your penny. A well-preserved coin is far more valuable than one that is worn or damaged. Make sure to keep the coin in good condition by storing it properly in a protective case. Cut to visuals of a professional coin grading service, with an expert grading a coin and placing it in a protective case. Once you've identified a potential double-die 2004 penny, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Grading is essential to determine the true value of your coin, and services like PCGS or NGC can help you assess its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A coin in excellent condition, like the one that sold for $1.2 million, is given a high grade like MS67 or PR69. So, if you suspect your penny might be a valuable error, getting it graded is the best way to find out its worth. Once you have your coin graded, you can choose to sell it. The best way to do this is through a reputable coin dealer or an auction house that specializes in rare and valuable coins. Auctions can be a great way to get competitive bids for your coin, potentially driving up its price. Cut to visuals of other 2004 pennies, including regular, proof, and error coins. While the 2004 double-die penny is definitely the star of today's video, there are other 2004 penny variations worth mentioning. Some collectors also look for certain proof versions or coins with minor errors like die cracks, off-center strikes, or even a filled die error. Though these errors don't carry the same high value as the double-die error, they can still fetch a decent price depending on the rarity and condition of the coin. Cut back to the host standing in front of the table with coins. So there you have the incredible story of the 2004 Lincoln penny and how a simple minting error turned it into a $1.2 million treasure. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most ordinary things can turn into extraordinary finds. Next time you're sorting through your change, remember to take a second look at those pennies. You never know, you could be holding onto a rare, valuable coin just waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future coin hunting adventures. And, of course, if you've ever found a rare coin yourself, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about your discoveries. Music fades out as the screen fades to black with the channel logo. And, hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wondered how a simple penny could be worth millions of dollars, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the world of the 1995 Lincoln penny and how one of them recently sold for an astounding $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, at just 1 cent, worth more than most cars. Cut to a close-up of the 1995 Lincoln penny resting on a table. So, what makes the 1995 Lincoln penny so special? What's the story behind this incredibly valuable coin? Stick with us as we break down the fascinating story of how a simple mistake made this penny a $1 million find. Cut to a montage of Lincoln pennies through the years, showing different designs: the original wheat design, the Lincoln Memorial reverse, and the modern shield design. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909. Over the years, the design has changed, but one thing has stayed constant: the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse design has gone through several iterations, from the iconic wheat ears, to the Lincoln Memorial, and eventually, the modern Union Shield design. But out of all the years the Lincoln penny has been minted, some stand out more than others. Certain years hold hidden treasuries or rare errors that can make a coin worth far more than its face value. And today, we're focusing on one such year, 1995. Cut to a close-up of a standard 1995 Lincoln penny. At first glance, the 1995 Lincoln penny seems like just another ordinary penny. It has the usual design: Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing too special, right? Well, that's where things get interesting. In 1995, the U.S. Mint was still using the same dies for many of its coins, and while the 1995 Lincoln penny wasn't supposed to be anything out of the ordinary, A very rare error occurred during the minting process. This error would later transform the coin into a $1 million treasure. So, what exactly happened? Let's talk about the error that caused this penny to go from just another coin to a highly coveted collector's item. Cut to a close-up of the 1995 Lincoln penny showing the doubling effect on the date and lettering. The valuable 1995 Lincoln penny is the result of a double die error. So, what exactly is a double die? A double die is a minting error that occurs when the coin die strikes the coin more than once, but the second strike is slightly misaligned. This causes certain details on the coin to appear doubled, often making parts of the text or images blurry or duplicated. For the 1995 penny, the most noticeable place you'll see this error is in the date and the word Day Liberty. If you take a close look at the 1995 date, you'll notice that the A9 and the A5 appear slightly duplicated, creating a kind of blurry effect. Cut to a detailed close-up shot of the doubling effect on the date and the word Day Liberty. On some 1995 pennies, the word Day Liberty is also affected by the doubling. You'll notice the letters seem A thickened or A shadowed, making the word look double-struck. This is a perfect example of the double die error. It's a relatively rare error, but when it happens, the coin becomes a highly sought-after collector's item. Cut to footage of a coin auction with a crowd bidding and an expert evaluating a coin. Now, here's where things get really interesting. One of these rare 1995 Lincoln pennies with the double die error was sold at auction for an astounding $1.3 million in 2018. That's right up, this penny, which is technically worth only 1 cent, fetched more than $1 million at auction. But why? Well, the penny in question was in mint condition, graded as MS67 by professional coin grading services. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. MS67 means that the coin is nearly flawless, with only minor imperfections that are almost impossible to detect by the naked eye. Not only was this penny in perfect condition, but it was also one of the best examples of the 1995 double die error ever discovered. Combine the rarity of the error, the condition of the coin, and the strong demand from collectors, and you have the perfect recipe for a multi-million-dollar sale. Cut to the host inspecting a 1995 penny with the magnifying glass. So, how can you identify a 1995 Lincoln penny with a double die error? Here's what you need to look for. Cut to a close-up of the 1995 penny, showing the double die error on the date and the word Day Liberty. First, start by examining the date. If the numbers A9 and A5 in a 1995 look slightly doubled, you're probably looking at a double die penny. The key is that the doubling is subtle but noticeable with a magnifying glass or under good lighting. Next, take a close look at the word Day Liberty. If you can see the letters slightly A-shifted or duplicated, that's another indication that you may have one of these rare coins. Cut to the host showing both the regular 1995 penny and a double die 1995 penny side by side. You'll want to compare your penny to a regular 1995 penny to see the difference. The double die effect will be obvious once you know what you're looking for. Cut to visuals of a professional coin grading service, showing an expert evaluating a coin. Once you've found what you think might be a 1995 double die penny, it's time to get it graded. Grading is essential in determining a coin's true value, and a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC will assign a grade to your coin based on its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A coin in lower grades may only be worth a few dollars, but coins graded at MS67 or higher, like the $1.3 million penny, can command serious money. Once graded, you can keep your coin protected in a secure holder to preserve its condition. If you decide to sell it, you can go through reputable coin dealers or auction houses. The best way to get the most value is by selling at a coin auction, where collectors will compete for your rare find. Cut to visuals of other 1995 penny variations, including regular, proof, and other mint errors. While the 1995 double die penny is definitely the highlight of today's video, there are other 1995 penny variations that might be valuable. For example, certain 1995 pennies are known to have minor errors, like die cracks or off-center strikes. These coins can still have some value, though they don't reach the same astronomical prices as the double die examples. While these other errors might not fetch millions of dollars, they can still be worth hundreds or even thousands, depending on their rarity and condition. So, keep an eye out for other potential treasures from 1995. Cut back to the host standing in front of a table with various coins. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1995 Lincoln penny and how a simple minting error turned it into $1 million coin. It just goes to show that sometimes, the most unexpected finds can be worth a fortune. Next time you're going through your change, take a closer look at those pennies. You might just be holding onto a rare treasure worth far more than 1 cent. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin discovery. And if you've found a rare coin yourself, let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your amazing finds. Music fades out as the screen fades to black with the channel logo. And, welcome back to the channel. If you're into coin collecting, treasure hunting, or just curious about how some pennies are worth millions of dollars, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about the legendary 1969D Lincoln penny, a coin that recently sold for an unbelievable $1.6 million at auction. Cut to a close-up shot of the 1969D Lincoln penny under a spotlight. So, how did a simple penny from 1969 become worth millions? What's so special about this particular coin? Stick with us as we break down the fascinating story of the 1969D Lincoln penny and uncover how one lucky collector struck gold. Cut to a montage of different Lincoln pennies, including wheat designs, Lincoln Memorial reverses, and modern shield designs. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American currency since 1909. Since then, it has undergone several design changes, with the most iconic being the wheat design, the Lincoln Memorial reverse, and now, the modern Union shield. Throughout the years, this humble 1-cent coin has carried significant historical value, and in many cases, even financial value. Over the decades, collectors have become very familiar with the rarities of the Lincoln penny. Certain years and mint marks are known for their errors, making those particular pennies more valuable. While the 1969 penny may not have initially seemed special, one specific error would soon make it a collector's dream. Cut to a close-up of a 1969 Lincoln penny, showing both the obverse and reverse sides. The 1969 Lincoln penny looks like any regular penny from that time. On the front, we see Abraham Lincoln's portrait, and on the reverse, we see the famous Lincoln Memorial. Nothing out of the ordinary except that in 1969, there was a particularly rare and significant error that would turn this penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. While most 1969 pennies were struck without issue, there was a significant mistake made as the U.S. Mint, leading to the creation of an error coin that would become incredibly valuable. This error would go unnoticed for years until it was discovered by collectors. Cut to close-up visuals of the 1969D penny showing the double die error, focusing on the D mint mark and the word Liberty. So what makes the 1969D Lincoln penny so valuable? The answer lies in a double die error. But what exactly is a double die error? A double die occurs when a coin die is misaligned and strikes the coin more than once, with the second strike being slightly off. This results in doubled or blurry images or text on the coin. In the case of the 1969D penny, this error was especially noticeable on the mint mark, the word A Liberty, and even the date itself. Cut to a magnified shot of the doubling on the D mint mark and the word Liberty, the AD mint mark, which indicates that the coin was minted in Denver, shows clear signs of doubling. If you closely examine the letters of A Liberty on the obverse, you can see that they're also slightly doubled, giving the word a shadowy, ghost-like appearance. The most obvious sign of this double die error is on the A9 and A6 of the date A 1969, which are noticeably duplicated. Cut to footage of a coin auction, with people bidding and an expert examining the 1969D penny. So, How did a simple 1969 penny end up being worth an astonishing $1.6 million? Well, one of these rare double-die error pennies was sold at auction for that jaw-dropping price in 2018. But why was this penny worth so much? The coin in question was in excellent condition. It was graded as MS67 by professional coin grading services. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes, and MS67 is a very high grade for a modern coin. This particular 1969 penny was in near-perfect condition, with sharp details and minimal imperfections. When it hit the auction block, collectors and investors were eager to get their hands on it. Because of its rarity, its double-die error, and its top-tier condition, the coin quickly attracted the attention of serious bidders. And in the end, it sold for an incredible $1.6 million. Cut to the host holding a magnifying glass and inspecting a 1969 penny closely. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have a 1969 Lincoln penny with a double-die error? Well, here's what you need to look for. Cut to close-up visuals of the coin, focusing on the double-die features. First, examine the AD mint mark. A doubled AD mint mark is one of the clearest signs of this error. The mint mark will appear as if it's been struck twice, causing a shadow effect. Next, take a look at the date. The numbers A9 and A6 and A1969 will appear doubled or blurry. If the date looks off, that's a major red flag. Cut to close-up of the word A Liberty showing the doubling effect. Also, check the word A Liberty on the obverse. If you notice a faint second set of letters shadowed next to the originals, you've likely got a double-die error. Cut to visuals of a professional coin grading service, showing experts inspecting coins. Once you've identified a potential 1969 double-die penny, the next step is to get it graded. Coin grading is essential in determining the true value of your coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. If you've found a 1969 penny with a double-die error, and it's in good condition, you'll want to have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. The higher the grade, the more valuable your coin is likely to be. Once your coin is graded, you can either keep it as part of your collection or sell it. The best way to sell rare coins like this is through a reputable coin dealer or auction house, where collectors will be eager to get their hands on a piece of history. Cut to visuals of other 1969 pennies, including regular, proof, and other mint errors. While the 1969 double-die penny is the star of today's video, there are other variations of the 1969 penny that may also be valuable. For example, some collectors search for 1969 pennies with other types of errors, such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or filled die errors. These errors are rarer than the normal 1969 penny, but they usually don't fetch the same astronomical prices as the double-die version. However, if you have a coin with a noticeable minting mistake, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on the error and its condition. Cut back to the host standing in front of a table with various coins. So, there you have it, the story of the 1969 Lincoln penny and how one of these rare, error-filled coins became a $1.6 million treasure. It just goes to show that sometimes the most ordinary things can turn into extraordinary finds. Next time you're sorting through your change or going through your coin collection, take a moment to check for these rare minting errors. You might just be holding onto a fortune. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future coin hunting adventures. And if you've found a rare coin of your own, leave a comment below and share your story. We'd love to hear from you. Music fades out as the screen fades to black with the channel logo. End.